Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today actually I'm going to be cutting a 360-degree flare for you. This is actually the up parts of the dress. I've made the up part. If you want to see how I coupled it, you can go to my channel and see how to couple a breast tube, a breast cut. So now I'm going to be cutting the down part, that's the peplum part for this dress. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. But I still want to say a very big thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment on this video, share it. If you are having any problem in particular about any part of sewing, you can comment, you can tell me. I'll actually make a video about that, but before then you have to subscribe to my channel. That privilege is for my subscribers alone. So now I'm going to be cutting the down part. This up part is actually 16 inches. The full length of the dress is 25 inches. So when you want to cut a flare, what you normally do is you subtract the up part from the down part. So when you have 25 inches, which is the full length of the dress, I'm subtracting 16 inches. I'm going to be having 9 inches, but then I'm going to be making it 11 inches. Why 11 inches? 1 inch on top to sew and another inch at the down to turn with my lining. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Then before then, when cutting a 360 peplum, the up part, all you have to do is measure your dress. What you have here, that is what will determine how you're gonna cut it. So what I actually have here is 18.5 inches. That is 37 inches. So now since it's 37 inches, you divide 37 into 4. So when you divide 37 into 4, I'm gonna be having, it's not up to 10, it's not up to 9.5. So I'm gonna be working with that now for my peplum. That's the top part, but the length is gonna be 11 inches. So I'll start by folding my fabric into 4. As you can see, I've actually folded into 4. But for this, because of this cloth, because of the pattern, this down part, which is this part, I'm not going to be using it. So I will not get to this down part because I'll cut it out. I'm going to be using it for a design on the skirt of the dress. So like I said, initially, you divide your 37, yeah. You divide it into 4. So what I have is 9. It's not up to 9.5 inches. So I'll just make it 9.5. So that's this up part now is going to be 9.5. Like I said, it's not up to, but I just want to approximate it to 9.5. This is how I choose to cut my peplum. I've been using it and it has been working for me. So that's what I'm using. You can decide to use any other pattern. It's not up to 9. So when you measure like this, when you put your tape like this around, you see it's not up to 9. But before you go, before you do anything, you take your tape and measure your length. You know, initially I told you I was looking for 9 inches. I was looking for 11 inches. So that means I still have to fold my fabric, because I told you initially that I'm not going to be using this part. So that means I'll still have to bring my fabric down a bit. And I'll check before I cut. So we're working with 9.5. I'll place my tape here. You can try it. You can try from this part. You see this is 8. So that means it's not 8. I want 9.5. So that means I'll have to shift my tape a bit again. I'll put it here like this and try. I've gotten, this is even more than 9.5. So since it's more than 9.5, what I normally do, since it's more than 9.5, I'll take my tape, my chalk, and then rule from this up part. I'll rule I'll make my circle from this up part. You can see the curve. I'll make it and then I'll check. Always make sure you check. I'm still having 10, so that means I'll bring, you know, initially I put the tape down, so I'll bring it to the up part and then check. You can see it's still this is 9. That means I've still not gotten it, so it should be in between. I'll bring my tape again and see this is my 9.5. So that means, sorry, so that means I'm gonna be cutting it from here. So then this, I've gotten this part. Then the down part, initially I told you that I'm looking for 11. This is 11 inches. This side is okay. I'll check this other part. I have 11 inches. What I actually have excess. But if you know your fabric is not big enough, you don't want to waste, you can open your fabric and you refold again and check before you cut. But me, I don't have problem. So now I'll measure 11 inches from here. This is 11. I'll mark it like this. I'll bring my tape down. I connect the lines. I'll bring again and measure. I'll bring again and measure. I'll bring it to this part and measure. As you can see, I have my full 360 peplum now. What I normally do, I normally cut out the down parts first. This is the down part. I've finished cutting out the down part. So the next thing, I'll cut the top part out. Most times what I normally do, I usually don't cut from the exact line. I normally cut from the top part. Why I normally do that is in case it's too big. In case it's too, if you cut, most times when you cut from the down part, it will exceed the actual measurement. So what I normally do, I normally cut from the up part. Always cut from the up part. You can choose to cut from the down part. Depends on what works for you. But for me, I normally cut from the top part because I don't want it to be too big. I'll now start trimming. By the time you trim it, it's no longer a 360 peplum. As you can see, you see it's full. You can see it's full. You can see it is really full flay peplum. So that's it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, there was one of my subscriber actually dropped a request on the comment section on how that she was having difficulty on how to cut lining for her peplum. So most times what you normally do when you're cutting a lining for your peplum, fold your lining the same exact way. You fold it into 4. Take your peplum and place on top of it. You understand? You place it on top like this. Make sure it is accurate. Make sure it's accurate. You place on top like this. You can see it's still folded 4. Just the way I cut it. You place it on top. That's the only way you won't run into problem when it comes to cutting when it comes to cutting the lining for your peplum. As you can see it's placed neatly on it. It's folded into 4. My lining is folded into 4. My fabric is still folded into 4. I didn't even scatter it. So I'll just take my scissors like this. I'll cut. With this, you won't have problem. Once you are using the lining to turn it, it's gonna be perfect, as in 100% perfect. So you just come to the top part like this and you cut. This is it. You find that, you see, it's still full, just the way the dress, the actual fabric was full. So you take your scissors and you open it from one side. You open your 360 from one side. As you can see, you have your full fillet, and then you open from the side. Note that I opened from the side. I opened from the side. So these two are opened from the side also. And here we go. I've got my full 360. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'll show you how to couple it, but before then, how to join it to the fabric. This is the actual fabric. When I'm sewing it on it, I'll go to my machine, I'll show you how to do it. But before then, I'll take it to my ironing table. I'll iron gum stay, because this is actual a full padded dress. So I iron gum stay on this part and iron another stay here. You can use the S stay, you can decide to use soft gum stay on both parts. Then I'll now take it to my machine and sew, turn it, then I'll show you how to couple it. So as you can see now, I finished ironing the stay on it. I ironed on the fabric and then on the lining. So now I'm going to be using the lining to turn the peplum. Most times what you normally do when you want to turn, you turn both of them face inside out like this. As you can see, turn it like this. And then you place it on your machine. And then you sew. You start from the down part. Take it all the way down to the end. And when you are done, you do the side also. As you can see, I finished sewing it. I finished turning it with the lining. As you can see, the 360-degree actually came out very fine. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'll go to my machine and sew it, attach this part to this part. Before I do that, I'll open up the back part, that is the zip allowance. I'll open it up. I'll make a notch here at the middle of this one. I'll make a little notch here and then bring this part down, that is my peplum, and get to the middle part also and make another notch here. So I'm actually gonna start sewing from this part. So now I'll take it to my machine and sew. So I'll take this notch part, this part that I made a little notch on, and attach it to this part. Always double check. I'll do the same thing to the other side, starting from here. you can actually decide to sew this part down before you start, in order not to make mistakes. Since I can sew it like this, I choose to do it this way. As you can see, I finished joining it, coupling the both parts to it. So it's going to be like this. It's actually for a customer, so it's not my size. So it's a little bit bigger. As you can see, the 360 on it. So this is how you couple. This is how you cut a peplum and join it to the top part. So was this video helpful to you? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do tell me, comment and tell me, like I said initially, tell me what part of peplum gives you problem, or any other part of sewing that you have problem. I'll actually make a video. I might actually make a video about that. But first you have to subscribe to my channel. Like I said, that privilege is for my subscribers alone. So thank you so much for watching, and bye.